Let's take a look at Drafts Actions. In prior screencasts, I've explained that Drafts is a place that you create text and then you act on it. Drafts Actions is where you act on the text you create. To access Drafts Actions, all you do is swipe from right to left. You can also tap on the Actions button in the upper right corner. Drafts comes with a lot of actions built in. You can sort and modify those, you can download more, and you can even add your own. So let's customize the action list. The action list in the right sidebar displays actions from one group at a time. You can change those, however. There are multiple groups. To do that, you just tap on the current action list title. I'm in the basic list now, so if I tap on the word basic, you can see I've got a bunch of additional ones installed, like keyboard tools or date and time actions. And the list you've got on your version of Drafts may vary because maybe you haven't installed the same ones I have. But I'm going to go back to basic now. And let's take a few steps to manage those actions on the basic list. The trick for this is swiping from left to right on any action. When you do so, it opens several commands. First thing you can do is edit it. I'm going to show you that in a minute. The next thing you can do is duplicate it. If I tap on that, it just makes an extra copy of it. And then the third thing you can do is delete it. So I'll go ahead and delete that copied one. It'll prompt me. I'll press the delete button, and now I'm back to where I started. Let's say I want to edit the mail one. I'm going to swipe from right to left. I'm going to tap the edit button, and I can do a lot here. I can change the actual steps. Like right now, it's set up to send an email, but I don't want to do that because that's what it's called. But maybe I want to change the color to this green, and you can see the icon just change. Tapping on the icon, by the way, allows you to insert a different icon if you want. But I'll go ahead and turn that back to an email folder, or maybe this clear one. There we go. When you're done, tap the Done button, and you can see the changes have taken place. You can reorder items just by tapping, holding, and dragging. So, for instance, if I want this mail to be the first item, I can just tap and hold on it. You can see it raises off the sheet, and then I can lift up so it's above copy and let go, and now I've reordered them. If I change out of the basic to keyboard markdown and then change back to basic, you'll see that Drafts kept the order that I changed. That drag and drop also works with groups. So if I want to move the date and time actions up to right below basic, I just tap and hold on it, drag it up so it's under basic, and let go. And now I've reorganized my groups. You can also perform actions on multiple actions. Just tap the select button and then tick the box for the ones you want to act on. And then you've got a series of operations available. You can copy them to a different group, or you can move them to a different group, or you can delete them. Since I've got these three selected, I'm going to go ahead and move them. I'll just tap on the Move To button and then select the group. I'm going to put it in the date and time actions. And as soon as I did that, you can see that these three actions now show up in date and time actions. I could move them back as a group using the Operations button, or I could move them back individually. To do that, I just tap and drag one to select. Then I open the group menu, and then I can go ahead and just drop it right in. Using the tap and drag method, you can also just drop it on a set. So I'll go ahead and do that with this copy one. I'll pick it up, select the group, and just drop it on basic. And when you do that, it'll show up at the bottom, so you'll have to drag it up manually if you want to put it higher on the list. Now going back to the groups of actions, if I tap the Manage button, it gives me the ability to make changes to the groups. For instance, if I want to change the basic icon color from blue to red, I can just tap red. I can even change the icon. I like this coffee mug. I can see the list of actions there and make changes if I want from that menu. And I can make global changes to how Drafts treats the text it's processing when it's done. Currently it's set to do nothing, which means after I use a draft text to send an email, the draft will remain in the application. I generally like to make it archive them because I only use the text once. When I'm done, I'll tap back, and then I'll tap done again, and I've managed my action groups. If you switch between action groups often, you may want to enable the quick access tabs. That's under the ellipses here. I'm just going to throw the switch and click done, And you can see on the bottom, I can jump between my action groups with these tabs across the bottom of the screen. That can be really convenient. And before finishing, I'd just like to point out how all of this stuff also applies to the Drafts keyboards, which are also groups. For instance, you can see I have this keyboard tools group. This is a list of keyboard tools, and you see that when you're working on a new draft. I've got some text here selected in a draft, and I've got that keyboard tool keyboard available. And you can see if I scroll across the top, I've got all those tools available. And let's say I want to make it all uppercase. I can do that with one button, or lowercase, or even title case. But let's say I usually use title case. I want to put that first in order. All I have to do is go over to the group, and then I can just tap and drag title up to the top. And then when I finish and go back to the keyboard, you'll see now title is indicated first on the list. So you can customize the keyboards exactly the same way you do the action lists. As you can see, customizing the action list by sorting and modifying existing actions is no trouble at all. I think one of the best ways to get good at using drafts is to make these action lists your own. If there's an action on there you're never going to use, delete it. If there's one you particularly like, put it at the top so you can use it every day.